Hi everyone, my name is Adrienne, and today I'm going to show you how to explore the lingual sides of tooth number 29 and tooth number 30. So I do want to mention that I am currently sitting at the 11 o'clock position. Next, I'm going to turn my typodont this way to imitate a patient facing towards the clinician. This way I can get a better visual since I'm going to be exploring the posterior surfaces that are away from me. Before going to work on the patient, I need to make sure I am using a modified pen grasp. The index finger and thumb are opposite of each other, and there should be a space in between them. And the handle will rest between the second and third knuckle of the index finger, maintaining this C shape right here. Now it's important to note that my index finger, middle finger, and ring finger should all be touching because this will create stability. A modified pen grasp is critical for the dental hygienist because it enables optimal safety for both the patient and the operator. Not only does it provide better strength and stability, but it also minimizes injury. To identify the correct working end of the Explorer to use, I'm going to hold my instrument against the distal surface of tooth number 30, like this, and as you can see, the terminal shank should be parallel to the distal surface and the long axis of the tooth that we're working on, and the functional shank is going to go up and over the occlusal surface of the tooth. So this would be the correct working end. When identifying the incorrect working end of the Explorer to use, I am going to adapt the leading third tip of the Explorer to the distal surface of tooth number 30. However, I can see that this is not correct because the functional part of the shank is crossing over the lingual surface of the tooth instead of going up and over the occlusal surface of the tooth. So now I'm going to start on the lingual surface of tooth number 30, going towards the distal surface. I'm going to turn the typodont towards me like so, as if to simulate turning the patient's head towards me so that I have a better view of the lingual surface of this tooth, and I'm going to establish my fulcrum on number 28. So I'm going to start on the distal lingual line angle of this tooth, like so. My elbow is currently tucked in towards me, and as I go towards the distal surface, my elbow will be going away from me now. I'm going to activate vertical strokes, so up and down, 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 up and down. And as I go towards a distal lingual line angle, using very small, gentle, and controlled movements, I'm going to start the rock, pivot, roll, rock, pivot, roll, rock, pivot, roll, rock, pivot, roll. Now, as I reach the interproximal space, I'm going to activate vertical strokes, keeping the leading third tip of the Explorer adapted to the distal surface of the tooth. So up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Now I'm going to carefully remove my Explorer and now I'm going to reestablish my fulcrum, this time on the facial surface of tooth number 28, starting at the distal lingual line angle. My elbow will be out and away from me, and now I'm going to activate some oblique strokes. Rocking, 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 rocking. Now as I reach the mesiolingual line angle, this is when I will start my pivot and roll. So rock, pivot, roll, rock, pivot, roll, rock, pivot, roll, rock, pivot, roll. Remembering to use very small, gentle, and controlled movements. And at this point, my elbow is tucked in towards me. And as I reach halfway into the interproximal space, I will activate the vertical strokes. Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And now I will carefully pull out the Explorer from the space. All right, so now I'm going to do the same thing with tooth number 29. Again, I will establish a finger rest that is 2 teeth away from the tooth that I'm currently working on. In this scenario, my fulcrum will be on tooth number 27. I will begin with the tip facing the distal lingual line angle. My elbow is currently tucked in towards me, and as I go towards the distal surface, my elbow will be going away from me. First, I will activate vertical strokes. So up and down, 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 and rocking, pivot, rolling as I go towards a distal lingual line angle. Rock, pivot, roll, rock, pivot, roll, rock, pivot, roll. Remembering to use very gentle, small, and controlled movements. And as I reach the interproximal space, I am going to continue with vertical strokes. So up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. All right, next I will carefully pull out of that space. All right, next I'm going to turn my instrument's tip towards the mesial surface. I'm going to reestablish that fulcrum, this time on the facial surface of tooth number 27. I am going to begin at the distal lingual line angle, and my elbow is currently tucked out and away from me. I will activate oblique strokes. So I'm going to be rocking, 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 rocking. And as I reach the mesial line angle, I will start my pivot and roll motions. So rock, pivot, roll, rock, pivot, roll, rock, pivot, roll, rock, pivot, roll. Remembering to use gentle and controlled movements. Now, as I am in the interproximal space, I'm going to do my vertical strokes. Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. I'm going to carefully pull out, and we are all done.